Louis Fishman, who is an associate professor at City University of New York's Brooklyn College. He's also the author of Jews and Palestinians in the Late Ottoman Era, and he joins us live now from New York. Thank you so much for being here with us. So, as I was just mentioning already, there's growing tension between the Syrian rebels and Israel, with Israel occupying Mount Hermon. Given the uncertainties surrounding a rebel-led government for Israel, where do you see this leading?
Well, I think we just need to give it time to see what's going to happen the next few weeks. I mean, just think about it. A week ago, Assad was just escaping the country. So we need to give it time. And I think with Israel, you're going to see that eventually it will pull back. They've hit numerous military targets throughout the week, basically destroying most of the military power in Syria. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. But at the same time, we're going to have to look at what's going to happen in the country. And I think first and foremost is that we have to remember that this is about the Syrian people, and this is about the resilience of the Syrian people, and they're going to decide their future and how they move forward. So we're going to, in the next few months, there's going to be lots of ups and downs on one side with Israel, but the other side with Turkey, with other powers trying to make a power grab basically in a country that is on a new path.
Yeah, the Syrian people obviously will have a strong say, but as you say, so many other countries involved. So let's look at that bigger picture. Right now, the U.S. is taking this central role in the Syria summit that was taking place this weekend in Jordan. You've suggested that with Iran marginalized, the U.S. has come out of this as the sole international power in the region. So I'm wondering about the U.S. role in rebuilding a new Syrian government. I mean, let's face it, the American track record for rebuilding in the Middle East is questionable, to say the least. So what challenges might the U.S. face in promoting stability and preventing further conflict?
Well, I think that's the million-dollar question here. As we know, Trump is somewhat of a wild card. And at first he said, well, we're not going to get involved in Syria. But that's not going to happen. We know that Russia has pulled out their forces, and as you said, that Iran is completely marginalized. So today, the only power in the Middle East is the United States, and it's a bit ironic that if it is the only power, why are there so many conflicts in the region? So I think the Trump administration is going to have to make some very bold decisions about how to limit Israel's power and to also introduce some plan for the Palestinians, although unfortunately I don't see it coming with the Trump administration. Now, in the greater picture with Syria, I think what we're going to see is there's going to be tensions, of course, between Turkey and the United States. The U.S. has about 900 military personnel in northern Syria, and that is the area that's under Kurdish control that is going to go head on with the Turkish-backed militias, which already started. So in some sense, I think what this conflict has showed us, or this new beginning in Syria, is that everything really is connected. The Israel-Palestinian question, what started on October 7th, has now led to the fall of the Russian control and the collapse of the House of Cards of Iran at the same time. So we really are going to see a year, I think, of a hard year, where each group is going to try to get more influence. And right now, Turkey is in a key position to influence Syria like it's never has since the Ottoman times, you could argue.
Yeah, so you speak of Turkey being sort of one of the big winners of the collapse of the Assad regime, Israel as well, and you see that playing out now. I want to pick up on what you were just suggesting there in terms of the Palestinian issue being perhaps sidelined in this new political landscape. How might this all shake out, do you think? How might this influence the Palestinian efforts for statehood, especially under a Trump administration?
I have to say I'm very, very pessimistic. Under the Biden administration, even if it was lip service at times, they did have in their worldview a place for at least Palestinian aspirations. That probably doesn't exist today. What this might do is force the Palestinians, the Palestinian Authority, and Hamas, or what is left of Hamas, to reunite in some kind of negotiations and create a united front that will put them forward. There's also the Saudi-Israeli peace deal that Biden was really pushing for, that Trump was actually quite interested in when he left office just 4 years ago. So that's also something that we could see in the near future. So really, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to see how this plays out. But with Syria, I would say that Israel is going to take the back burner on Syria, and it is going to be mostly Turkey. I didn't write about it, but definitely Qatar, and perhaps even Saudi Arabia and the UAE playing a greater role in Syria. So we're going to have to see. And of course, Hezbollah, a damaged Hezbollah is going to provide perhaps a pathway for Lebanon to move forward as well.
All right, so many unknowns, as you say. We'll have to leave it there. Louis Fishman, thank you so much for being here with us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.